Chapter 48, Annoy them to death. In a villa situated within the wealthy district of Shangcheng, 4 powerful tycoons were sitting by a giant pool, smoking cigars and drinking wine. On their side, several stunning women were serving drinks and providing massages. A middle-aged man walked in with several bodyguards, and he respectfully stopped by those 4 and lowered his head, not daring to make a sound. One of the elders had a tattoo of one of the 4 mythological beasts of Huaxia, the azure dragon. He glanced at the middle-aged man from the corner of his eyes, who was none other than the old Master San that was responsible for giving Su Chang a hard time. The elder with the azure dragon tattoo snorted, "So how's that brat Qin Wuvai? He fractured his nose and face and still needs to be hospitalized for a period of time," old Master San reported. The other 3 elders, each tattooed with either the vermilion bird, white tiger, or black turtle, all snorted. The elder with the azure dragon tattoo took a puff of his cigar and slowly said, "Even during the old times when the police surrounded the casino for a routine check, our faces weren't slapped this hard. Yet yesterday, you couldn't even stop one officer from coming in and out, twice. Is this acceptable?" As he spoke, the elder angrily threw the burning cigar directly at old Master San, and the latter didn't dare to dodge it at all. "Our old faces were all fucking lost by you." The elder slammed his fist on the redwood table, and the tea and wine on the desk all splattered over. "The other casinos are all laughing at us. What are we before? One of the 4 gates. Yet, last night, someone used the most simple way to slap our faces. What the fuck were you guys doing? You couldn't take care of one guy? What use do I have for keeping you guys around? Hey!" Old Master San was covered in sweat as he lowered his head, not daring to speak a word. "Did you find out who it is?" one of the more calm elders among the 4 asked. Old Master San immediately answered, "Sir, we did. But this guy doesn't have any background, and he's just a patrol officer that recently came out from the army." The azure dragon elder let out a deep breath. "Did you get someone to take care of him?" Old Master San hesitated for a second. "I gave the job to North Gate, but they hadn't returned my call, so I don't know if the task was taken care of or not. Now, because North Gate was doing the worst out of the 4, they still retained their old profession of getting hired to do dirty work. However, with the protection of the other 3 gangs, North Gate already slowly became the claws and fangs of the other 3, becoming responsible for taking care of the dirty work behind the scenes." The azure dragon elder shook his finger and said, "If I hear that something similar to this happens again, you guys can jump into the lake to feed the fish. You can go now. Tell Qin Wuvai to come to the main hall to accept his punishment when he gets out of the hospital." "Yes, I will go and tell him right now." After old Master San was done, he bowed and left. After getting into his Mercedes, he gestured to the driver to go as he took out his phone to call the guy called Brother Tiger of North Gate. Right now, Brother Tiger was in a coma in the hospital, and his assistant answered the phone after it rang. "Master San. How is it, was that guy taken care of?" Master San asked. On the other end of the line, the assistant was silent for a bit before speaking again. He was quite tough. Master San frowned. "Where's Tiger? Still unconscious?" Master San's pupils slightly enlarged. "What happened?" The assistant was still a bit terrified as he said, "That guy was definitely a trained martial artist. Our 30 most elite fighters couldn't even do anything to him, with 20 or so of them being hospitalized. Master San, I'm afraid that we can't help you anymore on this one." Master San gritted his teeth. "Okay, I got it." After the assistant hung up, Brother Tiger slightly opened his eyes. "Brother Tiger, is it really okay for me to tell him that?" Brother Tiger looked at him. "If you still want to live, then listen to me. If we get involved in this, we will only end up as cannon fodder, and by then, the charges of killing a police officer will be put on us, assuming that we can even kill him in the first place. Actually, it is more likely that we get killed by that officer first. He's definitely not a simple guy. Tell our people to just use the excuse of being hospitalized and not get involved anymore. It's not just our group in North Gate, let the others try to handle it. The assistant nodded. After Master San hung up the call, he asked his trusted assistant who was also the driver, is there a way to get him fired and then kill him? Just ruin his reputation. In this information era, it's quite easy to expose someone's scandals, and we just need to get some information on him and get a hold of his weak spot, the driver laughed and said. Master San slowly replied, this guy's an orphan, and he doesn't even have a girlfriend. Besides his comrades in the army, he doesn't even have friends in Shangcheng. What kind of weak spot can we find on this guy? After hearing that, the driver fell silent as well. Young Master Chen, who was now behind bars in a small police station, was furious. Originally, his plan was to convince Lin Chuxu to marry him and potentially do some funky stuff in the dressing room, yet he ended up in a police station. Just as he wanted to really stir up a storm and go berserk, the officers let him go, so if he started something after being detained for just a few hours, he would seem petty. He gritted his teeth as he looked at Su Cheng and said, I'll remember you from now on. I will give you a reminder, so don't leave your house after 10 p.m. Su Cheng smiled. I'm sorry, I'm all about night shifts. Very good. After young Master Chen was done talking, a cold light flashed past his eyes and he left the station with the people that came to pick him up. Right after he left, Zhang Ruiyan, who had just gotten out of the hospital, came to Su Cheng's side and reminded him, this young Master Chen has his own fleet, and he loves racing at night when there's nothing to do. There had been many complaints and lawsuits against him from people that got hit, but he always has ways to dodge the charges or find a scapegoat. You should be careful. This guy changes his bedmate every day from the entertainment circle, he's a rich heir with lots of time and money to spare. Su Cheng took a look at Zhang Ruiyan and asked, how's your injury, are you doing better now? One of my ribs isn't doing well. Zhang Ruiyan bitterly smiled, and then sincerely said to Su Cheng, thank you. Don't worry, we will get back at them for sure. Su Cheng patted him on the shoulder and said, evil will not triumph justice, they are doomed sooner or later. Okay, you should be careful too. They are the four gates, not just some random thugs on the streets. Zhang Ruiyan bitterly laughed and said, I just feel a bit sorry, you offended them because of me. What are you talking about, you were taken away by them because of me. The whole thing started with me, so it's my bad, Su Cheng replied. It's all good, it's in the past now. Not yet, it won't pass this easily. Su Cheng said firmly, if we, as police officers, are scared of them, we will automatically become the losers. I'm not trying to lecture you guys, but why are our officers scared of trouble? It had always been the criminals scared of the police seeking trouble with them, when did it become the other way around? I will be looking for trouble with them every day and will annoy them to death.